Hi guys, today I'm playing May I Take Your Order, where I play as a waiter serving a couple with strange taste. Alright, I've been filling out a few applications today and this is the last one. I've been working to work at restaurants all over. It might seem glamorous, it might not seem glamorous, but I want to see how different places are run. If I want to open my own restaurant someday, it's crucial to see what does and doesn't work. My friend told me I should have saved my top pick for last, and I should really kick him for that. My hand's about to fall off. It's a pretty ritzy establishment, but comfortable. Fancy, but not overpriced. Important clientele, but still kind and inclusive. Man, that sounds perfect. If you can't make connections here, you're dead. Financially speaking. And the food, remarkable. I've never heard of anyone ever having a bad meal there. I gotta know how they accomplish so much. So I try not to be too nervous and fill this out like it's any other application. My first name is Moonray. There we go, Moonray. I fill in my address and try not to despair over my handwriting before getting to the personal section. Gender is female. I finish filling out the form. I cap the pen and lean back in my chair. Man, it's nice to be done. Well, except for heading outside and turning them all in, one at a time. Better get to it. 2 weeks later, I'm waist deep in my first Saturday shift at the restaurant. Busy doesn't even begin to describe it. After 7 hours of the weekend rush, I'm ready to go home. I stop off at table 6 and go through the motions. Thank you for dining with us, sir. My name is Miri, and I'll be your server this evening. He smiles at me. Pleasure to meet you, Miss Miri. Have you dined with us before, sir? Yes, indeed. I'm quite happy to be back. Just you this evening, sir? No, my girlfriend will be here shortly. I'll just have a cup of coffee while I wait for her. I will get that for you right away then. No rush. Countless families and couples have come and gone today, but for the past hour, that one guy's been clogging up table 6. Are you doing alright, sir? He checks his watch again. Stood up guy. Poor guy. Yes, I must stick to time and she'll be here any second. He's been saying that for the past 45 minutes. I tell him to pack up and leave, but he doesn't have the look I expect of someone in his position. There's anxiety, but only a little bit, and there's no disappointment. Not a shred of doubt in his eyes. He really thinks, excuse me. Oh yeah, his name is literally the stood up guy. He looks up at me. Seems like he's come to some sort of decision. Thank goodness. But this is a restaurant with crayons, correct? Yes sir, we have those for kids. Excellent. A sting of ferocity, can't say that word right, entered his eyes, one that doesn't quite pair naturally with crayons. One please, and red if you got it. Yeah, sure. I'm not about to argue with a customer, so I head to the front. It's not exactly usual, but the guy's been sitting here for half an hour with no phone. I'm caught between pity and irritation and hope for the umpteenth time that he has enough empathy to tip well on the single cup of coffee he's been nursing. There's a small tin with several crayons. We tried to keep fresh ones ready. I grab the red one. This is only important, isn't it? Let me just keep that saved. The red one. It's not a red crayon. No sense being mean to him. He might be weird, but he's probably having a bad night too. I bring the crayon back over to him and hand it over. Thank you, Miss Moonry. It's no big deal. Hey, are you okay? I saw you don't have a cell phone. Maybe we could call your girlfriend and... No warning, no nothing. He knocks everything off the table and climbs right on. What? Sir? Please get down. What the freak? His deft hand scrawls a wide circle, then another, then sections off areas, slicing as though the crayon were a knife. He fills it with symbols. They look almost like zodiac signs. Homo sum humani hami nihil agumium puto. It's like I stood up too fast as rushing to my head. There's a pressure, like my ears are going to pop. Oh. The tablecloth rips and there's a spray of sweet-smelling fluid. I leap away from the table as something bursts out. What? That's his date? Oh my god, she's not looking too good. Wet spike appendages are flying all over, slapping and snaking their way over the windows and doors. They're fleshy but soft, too soft, and they mush and disfigure as they slam against everything in sight. One smacks the hat off another diner, who continues to eat her meal, but unfazed. Nobody is screaming, and nobody notices me on the ground, arms raised to protect my face and throat too tight to scream again. But that's okay. The thing is screaming enough for the entire restaurant. It's letting out a dual-tone screech, high and low, but I can't discern one throat, let alone two. Crayon thrown to the floor, the stood-up guy and the worst diner ever starts to call out at it. Sweetie. What? For goodness sakes, put your body on. We're in a nice restaurant. I mean, can't judge here. Let's not judge. It screeches and roars back at him. I know, but... You have to summon her? Like, she really... Why did she take so long? Did it take so long to get ready? He waves a bundle of cloth at it. I brought you some clothing. And it's super comfy. It slips with the bundle of fabric, and the creature bubbles and draws back in on itself, twisting until... Oh my gosh, it looks presentable. I emerge. You're here! She looks pretty annoyed. You had me worried, so I figured I'd break the barrier down a bit. Teleporia, you have no idea how good it is to see you. When he says that word, my ears finally pop, my teeth grit. It's a bad word. It's not a curse word per se, but not so much of a word you wouldn't say in front of your boss. That's weird. It feels like the wrong answer in a classroom or meeting. The moment when everyone turns and looks at you, and you just want to sink through the floor. I just want to sink through the floor. I want to very quietly go get my coat and then change my name and move to whatever town is on the exact opposite point on the globe from where I'm currently standing. You informed me that the barrier was to be frail in this portion of your world. I will hold you responsible for trouble. He's beaming at the thing that came out of the hole, but I can't look at it. It hurts to roll my eyeballs towards it like I'm dehydrated. I close my eyes, the dark behind my eyelids is so cool and so soft. Huh. There are tears running down my cheeks. I hadn't noticed. The guy, Hendrik, beams and gestures towards, wait, we know his name now. The gaggle of eyes and puffy wool. This is my girlfriend, Teleporia? Impudent microbe. I may choose to craft for myself the form of a creator, a birthing one. But I am capable of far greater creations than your prepubescent females. And far more erroneously, your inflated egos think I would... Thing? To refer to you as any form of a companion? Her words wash over him like a gentle breeze. It looks like she could rip his face off, but her roars just make his eyes brim with joy. We've been dating for about 400 years now, and though the long distance thing is an easy bit of an annoyance, we make it work. The moment I finally devise an effective method of accomplishing your demise, I'll rip your soul from your ever-regenerated body and chew it to a gruel. He sits down at an all but destroyed table and picks up his menu. But until that beautiful day when I can be with you forever, you're going to need to eat something else. Teleporia stops. She looks at me and I bounce between eyes trying to make contact with one that doesn't stare down into the deepest inadequacies. There is human fuel here? I nod. Her mouth breaks open into a smile. Excellent. You are spared from punishment, Hendrik, if only for the moment. She sits down, but not in a chair. Dozens of her tentacles are still present throughout the entire room, spikes driven deep into the surfaces, blocking all exits. She settles into one of the squishy appendages, looking pleased. So then, maybe we should order an appetizer? It's not that I can't believe that this is happening. I have an open mind. But as far as a sudden supernatural shift to my life, I was really hoping for wizard school, or just plain old haunting. Some ghosts are pretty cool, right? At least with a zombie or something, I know the rules here. What are the rules with this thing? Do I throw rice on the ground to stall her? Would she attack me if I touch her with iron? Throw some salt at her? I listen to my gut, but I can't make out anything but general foreboding. Demon? You summon demons, so that fits. But I don't know. Something doesn't seem quite right about that. Maybe she's excuse me? Oh. I can barely think, but I can at least fall back on one set of rules. I struggled to stutter out the rote reply. Would you like to start off with a soup or salad tonight? The man grins and gives an eager nod. Can I please get the blue cheese salad? And for my sweetie, the teleporter rolls her eyes and her teeth flash as she cuts in. Hendrik, I've been on enough of these sham dates to know that ordering for your companion is rude. His face falls. But it's been ages since you've eaten any food. You're chewing on the fork right now. She gives him a glare and slowly places the slightly bent cutlery back on the table. Fine. But before he can say another word, she makes her move. I don't want your advice, though. I want the young human to choose for me. Oh, no. He sighs, annoyed. When he checks himself before looking at me, I think he knows that she's putting me on the spot. I can appreciate that he's trying to look out for me. I appreciate it more if he could have not summoned some kind of eldritch thing during an already busy Saturday shift. Or at all. I ease my throat open enough to squeak out. Tomato bisque? Caesar salad? Lamb chili? Lamb chili sounds pretty good. This doesn't seem to mean much of anything to her. Great. And what would you like for your entree? She slams a fist down on the table. My stomach lurches. First, bring me the matter. This physical form requires fuel to sustain itself. I turn on my heel and fly out of there, an excuse to leave. If there are any kindly extra-dimensional beings looking down on me right now, I would like to take this opportunity to thank them. I rush into the kitchen. Back in the kitchen, everyone's still bustling about. Other servers are calling in their orders. The ambitious cooks are working. The slightly less ambitious cooks are cracking jokes to each other. They're as oblivious as the customers out front. I can see my manager discussing some menu changes with the head chef. Hey, does anyone else see what's going on out there? But nobody turns to look at me. Hey, I'm serious. What the hell is going on? Are they ignoring me? Do you expect me to just come back here and bring in this order like nothing's wrong? I take a sarcastic tone. Yeah, we got a blue cheese and a chili for table 6, just another usual night, right? Without warning, a tray with the order is put down on the counter next to me. Are they in some other type of dimension? Better than that, there's no hint of a glance, no guilty looks. Hey! Nobody even flinches. Fine. Looks like I'm on my own. Did I tell you how lovely your eyes are this evening? From your ever effusive sewer pipe of compliments springs something worthwhile. I made the most of them myself, but the eye in the center of my head was my reference object. I can't even tell the difference. Your anatomy has gotten so much better since the last decade. How long has this guy lived? How old is he? What is he? It is easier when I have a fresh supply of study materials. So I suppose I can remain here long enough to consume some matter. Let no sentient being claim that I do not repay my debts. Well, that's just one of the perks of the job. Teachers can bring home knowledge, cooks can bring home food, and surgeons can bring spare body parts back to their girlfriends. Are you serious? I can say with relative certainty that that isn't how it works. If I ever find out this man's last name, I'm never going to his hospital. I served Teleporia her chili, trying not to get too close. Please be careful, it's very hot. Remember, sweetie, that too much heat can injure. Silence, meat garden. I know what to do with volatile meat sources. God. She flings a scalding liquid across the table, and it hits Hendrik square in his chest. Ugh. He rushes out to the bathroom, face red from pain. We don't serve our soups at heat that could do permanent damage, but that still has to hurt. She closes most of her eyes and inhales and takes a deep breath, satisfied. When she speaks again, her rough voice has a tranquil tone. Clean it up, human. This is an establishment with standards, is it not? Oh my gosh, she's annoying. Well, it was, I mutter. The elegant charm might be unaltered, but the sudden presence of giant tentacles. She snuggles down to her seat. This is a gift for your owners. It is a silver of my true form. Well, it's lovely. Sorry that you didn't like the chili. Apology unnecessary, human. I enjoyed that immensely. She sniffs the air. And it smells nice as well. She dabs a little of the meat on her neck. This body has concentrated blood flow around the throat and wrist. These pulse points heat and disperse stray molecules of matter, allowing humans to perceive them with their noses. She's quite pleased with this luxury. She's talking about a nose. She wraps a scarf around herself. As I think about it, the clothing Hendrik bought for her is all very heavy. A maxi skirt. Let's see the maxi skirt. A thick sweater and a blanket scarf. The way you're clutching that scarf, are you cool? You may not have my scarf, it retains my heat. I will continue to generate and retain heat. It will belong to me, not you. I take a step back. No, that's all your heat, fair and square. She growls. Happily? Yes, all mine. Hendrik will be procuring more matter this evening, which will continue to power this form. Physical exertion is a luxury. The caloric energy necessary to move but a digit. She is one of her own claws. It is precious. I have gone for thousands of years, lying in wait for a foolish summoner to tear open ribs and let me in. Good heat from your own world. So Poirier leans down on the table, the edges of the scarf trail into her chili. Or at least what's left of it. It is selfish to be happy that she's disarmed now. I look at the still present tentacles and recalculate the statement. She at least cannot harm me with soup. And that's something. So, human, how do you enjoy generating your own heat? It's good. I'd rather just turn on the heater though. It's not really. Have you ever gotten sweaty? I like it. Physical activity is fun. Yeah, I like it. I too enjoy hunting. Actual consumption of matter at times comes second to the thrill of pursuing a terrified creature. Well, I was more thinking about exercise, to keep in shape. She stops. Do you waste your fuel on extra heat? No, it isn't a waste, it's fun. She hisses through her jagged teeth. The human enjoys this, does she? Yes, it's nice to be able to move, isn't it? She taps her knife against her glass. Well, I suppose. Phew. And Hendrik returns. He's back. Getting along well? As well as might be expected. Still, thank you for keeping her company. Build your appetizer in, and she shakes her head. I'm finished with mine. He laughs. Of course, how could I forget? So then, would you like to move on to the main course now? Next part of the meal. Ah yes, with the larger portions. Hendrik points her to the menu. So, what were you thinking about? I always like steak, but I made that I was kind of thinking about splurging on the, hey, human unry? I snapped to attention. Yes, ma'am? Choose, do it properly and wisely, or else I will need to consume something else for the main course. She's staring at me with bright in the eyes, and her gaze lingers on my mouth. She stares at my teeth and licking her lips. Can she eat my teeth? Well, I think you would enjoy. We have a beautiful porterhouse steak. I don't think it's steak. We have lobster. We have squid ink pasta. Oh, squid ink pasta. I kind of want to do squid ink pasta. Lobster or squid ink pasta? No, I'll do lobster. Hendrik gives a bit of a nod. That's my order too. It's been a while, but it's a special night. What? At what point did humans discover the joy of consuming live creatures? Wait, she doesn't think I'll serve it to her while it's still. No, sweetie, I'm afraid that most of us are still a touch prudish about that sort of thing. But they have a tank here, so the lobster is fresh. Ugh. Nothing is as fresh as squeezing the life out from a creature with your jaws. Feeling it writhe and struggle in a fruitless attempt to stave off the icy curtain of death. Why is this guy blushing? Oh my god, he's really head over heels for her. She's looking straight at my throat. Can't you eat Hendrik instead? I mean, he's right here. 2 lobster dinners coming right up. I rush away as quickly as I can. I really convinced the chef to let me serve 1 lobster live. I felt downright ghoulish, but between me and the cruise station, I'm going to defend myself every time. Her reaction is the same as last time. She prepares the dishes as usual, hands them off to me, never making eye contact or reacting to anything I say. What is this? She lifts up the extra utensil. It's the lobster cracker used to crack open the shell. This is a fair idea, but it's such a waste, Moonray. To use this on a deceased creature. Well, if food is dead, isn't it easier to consume? She waves a claw at me. Not if you have to crack it open anyway. Hendrik is already digging the meat out of his. I like it. It's soothing to have a little tactical activity as part of your meal. Telporia's claws slip on the lobster's cracker. Meat shield. How are you employing your tool? Well, you put either end of the metal bit over, raise it up, and demonstrate. He holds a lobster cracker and one leg opening up, leaning forward so they're close enough for her to get a good look. She holds hers up, pantomining his actions. Then promptly grabbing one of his hands, wrapping the cracker around his pointer finger, gripping it tight. Oh my god. Oh! His finger juts out an odd angle, and blood drips out the torn tablecloth. She cackles and throws the metal tool at his head. Fool, I can easily employ such a simple item. He's leaning away from his injured hand, the other on his face. Right you are, you got me. He sure does look embarrassed. It's really hard to tell through the pain. I mean, that is an expression of pain in his face, right? I guess she got him? He breathes heavily, trying to get himself under control. As though to prove a point, he goes right back to eating dinner. My god, it's head over heels for her. As though nothing went wrong. So, before I go, is everything to your liking? Is food powering your true form enough? Silly memory, when in my true form, I do not consume human fuel. This human template, what did you call it? Hendrik's caught mid-bite, and he covers his mouth to respond. Human sona. My human sona, it consumes calories, inhales oxygen and excretes feces, all the same as you yourself, I assume. I never expected to have a restaurant patron ask if I breathe and poop, but here we are. But my true form requires something much more deeply sustaining. She stares me down. She looks at my teeth again. She looks me in the eye. She holds that eye contact and waits. I try not to squirm, but my moxie is inadequate for this situation. She waits, and then laughs. I can breathe again. Delicious, a light dusting of fear, nothing too overwhelming. Oh, she breathes on fear, that's great. If that doesn't strike her as much fear, please let me never ever learn what does. So you eat fear then? It falls under my purview. Suffering. Sweetie's true form eats concepts, and she builds her human sonas to have quite the taste for them too. She looks so annoyed that he's talking. Any form of important emotion can sustain her, but she's picky. I'm not. Suffering is the only thing worth eating. Eating anything else will be beneath me. It's okay, whatever you eat. I love you just the way you are. And I will like you much better with several more stab wounds to the head. Anytime, sweetie? Oh my god, this guy's in messages. Though I managed to sneak away for the next 15 minutes, no doubt I'll eventually have to return. I tried to strike up a conversation with the line cooks again. So how do you guys feel about the recent tentacle invasion? Oh my god, they don't hear you, man. Of course, nobody responds. Yeah, it's hard to really put it in words, huh? They respond, dishes click. I guess the spooky atmosphere has a certain charm, but I don't think it'll catch on with the baby boomers. Conventional wisdom says that they like elegance and rustic charm. And Miss Western moms are not into dripping fluids. I mean, as a general group. I don't want to assume individual taste. It gets boring quickly, so after an appropriate waiting period, I head back over. So thank you for dining with us tonight. I did it. I made it through the evening. I'm tempted to not even give them a check, to just rush them right out the door. But I refuse to slip up now. It's been a delight getting to know the both of you. How kind of you. You know, I was planning on heading out, but did you know what? I couldn't care less if I attempted. I'm very powerful. I'm capable of carrying far less than most humans could in their most apathetic dreams. Oh my god, I knew he's gonna do dessert. Let's do dessert! Oh, okay. Look from his smiling face to Telporia's cruel one. I know how this goes. Let's make a recommendation. I recommend our chocolate tort for the delightful couple. Do you feel like drinking? I sure do after dinner brandy. Caution to the wind. Bananas foster flan? This is not gonna be Drinking, I feel like that would be bad, but let's recommend our chocolate torte for the delightful couple. Must remain professional. Everyone loves chocolate. Go with the safest option. Don't screw around when you're so close to the end of this. So close. Bring it on, Miss Memory. Torts here do better after a few hours setting up in the cooler, but they aren't made to order. I grab a couple and some spoons and return. Teleporter doesn't seem to be a fan, but at least she doesn't make a scene. Hendrik asks for the check and I rush off and get it ready in record time. He takes the check. He seems to be do a bit of calculation in his head, then lays down some cash. Well, this even wasn't a complete waste of my time and effort. Organ ravioli. Hendrik looks up at her. We have one short, friendly embrace. He jumps up to his feet, arms wide open to hug her. And one of her tentacles slams into him, throwing his body across the room. Oh my god, it slams into the wall and ragdolls to the ground. Hug transaction complete. Oh no, did you just kill him? She heaves a sigh. Would I were so lucky? No, human, I merely rendered him unconscious. That's good. BS, severe cranial hemorrhaging. That's bad. He will sleep it off. I ripped off his limbs before he can take it. She looks almost fond. She gets up and walks over to him and grabs him by the foot. I suppose it is time to return him to his residence. She perks up. Or I can abandon his body in a trash unit. Perhaps nobody will find him, and he will be placed inside a trash compactor. As she turns to drag him away, I ask, Miss Teleporia. She turns quizzical. Human, I am departing. You made it through this evening unscathed. You have little to no ability to comprehend how fortunate that makes you. But I suggest you make an attempt. I clear my throat. I think I'm trapped. I drifted around the restaurant. Oh yes, I had forgotten. Your world usually has even more light, does it not? She shrugs. Well, I had no hand in this. With that, she waves aside a tentacle and marches through the front door. Hendrik's head thuds against the ground. She walks down the staircase and out of sight. When I hear the front door close, another server bumps me in the shoulder stepping past. They give me a dirty look and keep heading their way. So rude. Just like that, I'm back. I get moving, clearing the table, skipping up the check. I check the tip. 40%. It might not cover emotional distress, but I'll cap off the ship as well. This was quite the experience. But for my own safety, I think I'm going to skip the 2 weeks notice. I came here to learn something new. And I say that goal was more than accomplished. Was it really? Everyone just acting like this. Yeah, this is completely normal. Ending 4. A hug goodbye. You know, we made it intact. I think that's the best ending. Now I want to see what happens if we give him a blue crayon instead of a red one. Okay, so now I'll pick a blue crayon and see what happens. Out of sheer spite, I grab a blue crayon. Look, I have to be here until all the customers leave, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. I bring the crayon back over to him and hand it over. Thank you, Miss Memory. Look, I really appreciate it if you could order something. I'm usually very good with customers, but this seriously just trying my patience. Look, I know you're probably having a rough night, but we're closing soon. No warning, no nothing, he knocks everything off the table and climbs right on. What the Hey, what do you think you're doing? His deft hand draws a wide circle, then another, then sections off areas, slicing as though the crayon were a knife. He builds it in with symbols and they look almost like zodiac signs. Homo sum humani ami nihil alumnum puto. It's like it stood up too fast as I rush into my head. There's a pressure like my ears are going to pop. The tablecloth rips and there's a spray of sweet-smelling fluid. I leap away from the table as something bursts out. Red spike appendages are flying all over, flapping and snaking their way over the windows and doors. Alright, I want to see if she's any different with the blue. I'm phased. Alright. He calls her sweetie. You guys are the absolute worst. Hendrik, you absolutely suck. I emerge. No idea how good this is to you. It's a bad word. sadistic? I think she is. Or it's, I don't know anymore. Yeah. So I'm just gonna skip ahead and like towards the end when they're ordering their dessert. You see what happens like if I give them different desserts. Like, or give them like brandy or like just, I forgot the lapse option was, but I'll see. Okay, let's make a decision. Let's ask, do you feel like drinking? I'm sure do. After dinner, brandy? And since nobody seems to notice what I do this evening, I'll just grab a glass for myself and pull up a chair. And she can eat up all the discomfort she wants. I like this human, I'm keeping her. Sweetie, no. But I'm already off, grabbing the bottle and a trio of glasses. I slammed them down on the table and filled them up. I'll bet you haven't had a good drink in, well, how long you've been stuck in that cold place. She grabbed a glass. Void. Void, God, what's it like in there? Like I was trying to be all buddy-buddy with her. She knocks back the brandy like it's whiskey. Probably goes without saying that she doesn't drink much. Dark, cold, mostly barren. Locked for something approaching an eternity with nothing but your own thoughts. Unless one can become creative. I did my best to make creatures to fill it, but it is a vast expanse. Literally endlessly big, but with nothing in it. Yeah, I caught part of your conversation before. You made your body, right? Indeed, when ribs become open, I am able to seize not only heat, but stray matter. I model the majority of my creations after your carbon-based life forms, but modifications must be made. I'll bet if that void doesn't have heat or any matter. You need to make creatures that don't eat or breathe, right? Good human. I model most of them after myself. And you eat concepts. Yes. After billions and billions of years, I've evolved over 1 million species of void creature. Nearly all of them feed, as I do, on the concept of suffering. So it's an endless, barren place with no light, no heat, where the only thing that exists just go around preying on each other, suffering all the time? Yes! Is it not marvelous? And someday, human memory, there will be a rift large enough that is not tiny scraps and stray humans which fall through, but your entire planet of existence. You will enjoy it. Wouldn't I hate it? I wish her bottle was nearly empty. She's been putting it away fast. I mean, I don't enjoy suffering. You'd be surprised what humans can get used to. Oh my gosh, shut up, Hendrik. He finally takes a sip of his brandy. I used the wrong English word. A coastal translation might be resignation? You will become resigned to an existence saturated with pain. And joy isn't the correct term. Unless you're a disgusting cluster of miswired brain signals. Love you too, sweetie. Ugh. I know what you're doing, Hendrik. You think if we can keep delaying me with fancy dinners, stolen body parts, and gentle words, and rough sex. Can we not talk about our sex life in public? Thank you. I don't even know how that would work, but well, I feel like she will be absolutely cruel towards him. She places a hand on his arm. That you can stop me. You're always oh my god, I can't read. You are as always disgusting, but an appealing opponent. And with that, she slumps over on the table, snoring loudly. Oh, she's not crazy drunk. By now, I can tell that has a smile on her face. He turns to her side, brushes her hair off her face, and wraps her up in her scarf. I'm sorry, Miss Brimley, this must have been an awfully difficult table for you tonight. Didn't think they gave us something so new. Yeah, the manager didn't warn me that we had special clientele. I was not even close to briefed for it. Well, you handled it marvelously. If you'd like us to bring the check, I think it's time to get her home. I nod and clean up the bottle and glasses. So are you going to lock her up or something? He chuckles. No, this is just a silver of the empty deep in the void. She could always make another body. But when she calls the memories and experience from this one, I want to make sure she knows. She can always switch diets. I pondered that while I get to check. She's been around longer than our species, longer than our planet. So no matter how old Hendrik is, it's nowhere close. But when I bring the check back, Mr. Hendrick? I'm rooting for you. Keep on doing the hero thing. He laughs all the way through, signing the check loudly. My dearest Moonray, I assure you I'm not being noble. He's very, very selfish. He looks at Teleporia. She grinds her teeth a little, probably dreaming of biting someone. He swoops her up, making it look easy. She must be lighter than she looks. And for a moment, I think he's going to kiss her on the cheek. I don't think that'd be a good idea. But he doesn't give her any more than a loving gaze. He carries her off out of the restaurant, and the second they step outside the door, everything goes back to normal. They start busting the table. Tentacles may be gone, but the tablecloth is still a mess. I get it now. That closed space must be part of the restaurant. Keepable safe for more bizarre guests. Oh. Now that they're gone, it'll be up to Hendrik to keep everyone safe. I bust the table and sneak a peek at the check. Dang. An 8% tip on a check with lobster and a full bottle of brandy? Oh, dang. Makes the idea of staying here pretty tempting. I'm honestly considering it. But first I'm going to need to have a long talk with my manager. Normally that sort of confrontation would be intimidating. But I'm bolstered by the memory of Teleporia's grin. And I grin too. I can handle it. Yeah, we got more confident. Alright. Ending 5, sweet dreams. Okay, we got ending 5. So now I'm going to choose the last option. I forgot what it was, but I'm going to choose that and see what happens. Okay, we're back. I'm going to say F it, caution to the wind, bananas, Foster flam. Is my professionalism slipping? Must be. What are we impregnating? What? Sweetie, it's a figure of speech. I don't have that function this time around. Sweetie, I think she's just tired. That's okay. I think if I want this to be a truly satisfying night for our esteemed void goddess, then she's going to enjoy this dessert. At least how we cook it. What is this blathering about? But I can tell I've got her hooked. We cook it tableside, with a huge flame, and there it is. I'm not so sure about this. Poor, kind of feel bad for him now. Looks like he's picked up on the pattern too. Oh, I insist. I don't even need to write this one down. One flaming dessert for table 6. Wait, how does this work? I scramble out about the kitchen, grabbing everything I need. Am I clear to do this? Hell no. 2 weeks is not long enough to have permission to set things on fire next to the diners. But it's a nice special, isn't it? I wheel the cart over. Feeling a mite chatty, I take my time prepping to light it on fire. So congrats on getting out of, what do you call it? The cold place? The void. Void, God, what's it like in there? Dark glowed, mostly barren, locked for something approaching an eternity with nothing but their own thoughts. Thus one can become creative. Alright, she talks about experiencing the void. And makes features. I just want to see what happens with the dessert. Yes, alright. Talking about their weird private life. Look out! And I light it up. The flame shines in her eyes, and I can feel the heat coming off it. I should probably be keeping a close eye on it to make sure it's cooking properly. But looking over at Hendrik and Teleporia, they're holding hands, so simply and happily. She's gripping his hand tightly from joy. And then she jerks him across the table. This is what was coming, man. Come on. Straight into the flaming carpet. Now that burns, that's one that can cause permanent damage. Though he may be lucky that that's the worst thing that's happened to him tonight. He executes a perfect stop, drop and roll, and soon the flames are out. Oh god. Ugh. Though he's far from unscathed. Human, this was a fantastic dinner. Bring us a statement so that we may pay you for your noble worship and gifts. I salute and the wheel remains of upturned cart away. It's not long before I return with the bill in hand. He takes the check. He seems to do a bit of a calculation in his head, then lays down some cash. Well, this evening wasn't a complete waste of time and effort. Organ ravioli. Andrew looks up at her. We have one short, friendly embrace. And then... yeah, he slams it into the wall. She didn't kill him. Would I be so lucky? Yes. Alright. I mean, they care about each other in some twisted sort of way. Clear my throat. I think I'm trapped in the restaurant. Yeah. I wonder what tip he'll leave us this time. Another server, right? Leave me a dirty, very dirty look. Clear the tables, could be a check. Check the tip. Oh, 40%. Oh my god. Might not cover emotional. Yep. I just want to see what happened with that. Ending for a hug goodbye. So we got the same ending. Well, I'm satisfied with that. Overall, I think this story was I think this was really funny, by the way. Yeah. It was a really great game to play. Only got 2 endings. There's 3 more endings, but I really don't want to look through all of them. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Bye.